Hi YouTube world, welcome back to my channel and welcome if you're new here. So today I'm recording a new video which is a review of a book, The Alchemist, which I read a while back. And actually I did record this video at first, but then the video that I recorded had some background noise issue and it just couldn't post it like that. So I had to redo this video, Also, welcome if you're new to this channel, and welcome back if you're one of the old subscribers. And if you're one of those old subscribers, I would like to give my apology for going MIA on you guys. I know I've been missing for a while, but it's just that there are a lot of things happening and a lot of things on my plate, so I couldn't show up or I couldn't just rise up to the occasion. But I hope I'll keep on the consistency that I had at the beginning and keep it the very end. So without further ado, I'll move into the video like right away. So the book that we're going to review today is called The Alchemist. This is the book cover. I'm not sure if you can see it, but yeah, I'll have a picture somewhere here in the video so that you can see the book cover. It's called Alchemist. It's very common. I think most people know about it or you've seen about it somewhere. So I read this book this year for the second time. The first time I read it, I think it was a way back, probably in 2019 is when I first read the book Alchemist. And for some odd reasons, the first time I read it, like, I did not understand the whole of the book. I feel like although I read the book to the very end, I only understood a part of it. Like there was a part of it that I just could not understand what was going. Even after I'd read the book, I only could remember a short part of it. But reading this book this second time, it really felt like a whole different experience, which made me remember of this thing like sometimes you can only understand things when you are ready to understand them, So yeah, that's why I just want to share that story of like the fact that the first time I read this book, it just felt like a whole. I could not get the vibe that people were saying, like I did get to see that it's a nice book, but it's not like the way I was hearing from people. But I think I got that experience that I had people experiencing this second time of reading it. And this is just to say, if you've read this book the first time and it did not click, try again a few years later. I think there's always a point in your life where this book will click for you. So yes. So let me tell you a little bit about the book, and then I'll move into some notes and highlights and just like explain what I was thinking about what I was reading the book. So the book is about a boy named Santiago who lives in Spain in a region called Andalusia. And for me, I would say this book is specifically about three things. This book is about following your dreams. This book is about self-discovery, and this book is about spiritual enlightenment. Because if you look at the journey of Santiago himself, so Santiago is a shepherd in the book, but even the story on how he became a shepherd is a whole story on like following your dreams and like discovering yourself. So Santiago went to a seminary school because his father wanted him to be a priest, and he was on that journey to become a priest until he realized that if he became a priest, he would never be able to travel, and it was his dream to be able to travel and all of that, So he went on and told his father of his dreams, I want to be a person who travels, I want to see the world and all of that. And his father told him that where we're from, they're from Andalusia, the only people that travel are the shepherds. And that's just how Santiago became a shepherd, because he wanted to travel and the career that he had would not allow him to travel. So he had to pick a career that would support his dreams. And I think this is just like a good lesson to learn. Like sometimes there are certain things, there's this notion that if your dreams will come on a silver platter, and I don't think that works, because I think like sometimes if you know what you really want, you have to be willing to do what you have to do to get what you want. I hope that makes sense in a way, because it does not make sense for you to choose something that you know very well that it's going against everything you want for yourself. That's like neglecting your own self. So another thing that I would say is covered in the book, I'll say self-discovery, because inside the book we have seen a number time and time again that Santiago discovers himself, like new things about himself and all of that. So I would say partly through his story, you can see that the self-discovery journey is just like a never-ending journey. And you might not know where you're going, but for as long as inside your heart, you know what you aspire to or what you desire, just walking through that path is the right thing to do. Because I mean, there is this notion that sometimes probably we assume that other people know what they're doing and we don't know what we're doing. But I think that's just something that we lie just to ourselves, because in my opinion, I think most people, if not everyone, do not know what they're doing. They're just like following what they think is correct in hopes that that will be the right path. So I think in this self-discovery journey, it's important for everyone to give themselves that chance to discover yourself, to like do things that you truly love, so as you like get to see the other side of yourself. And I believe everyone on this earth is just not like a single representation of anything. You could be multiple things, and I think we should all allow ourselves to just walk through that whole self-discovery journey. The other thing I would say is covered in the book is spiritual enlightenment, because in a number of occasions, like God was involved. So depending on your religion, it could be God, it could be Allah, it could be like anything else. Because even there was this word which is very much repeated in the book, it's maktub, which means everything is written. So it's like everything that's happening in your life is written by God or by Allah or by who you believe. So there is a lot more of that. Like his dream is like, most of those things are very spiritual. So I'd say the book is also about spiritual enlightenment, but then I won't go in details about that because I don't think I have much to say about that. Yeah. So now I'll go on to read some of the highlights that I had on the book so that I can just like share my 2 cents on what I thought about when I was reading the book. So this version that I read right now was the version to commemorate the 25th year anniversary of the publication of the book. And in the foreword, he wrote like the reactions of people over the years. So Paulo wrote that people continue to ask me if I knew the Alchemist would be a big success, and my answer is always no. And to some reason I found this freeing, because I think in most cases when you start a new project or when you start doing something, you don't know if it's gonna work or not. But I think you just have to bet on yourself. Like everyone who's successful at anything, everyone who has a product, everyone who has a book, who has become a huge success, they never knew that it would be at the start. So I think this just highlights the fact that you have to bet on yourself, and you have to be willing to face the consequences of your actions that come with betting on yourself. Something else that I did highlight and that I like is this thing that he was talking about change, and he said like we always have to be prepared for change. For some reason, change can be scary. Like I myself, like I'm usually terrified when I have to change things, when I have to change my ways, or when I have to change jobs and all that. But one thing that usually gives me joy is that old keys will never open new doors. And if you don't change anything, nothing will change in your life. So you have to be willing to change things in your life for you to experience in your life, you know. So it's so easy for us to dream of like new things, dream of a new lifestyle, all of that. But what are you willing to change right now to get what you're dreaming about? So he wrote here that we always have to be prepared to change, and I did highlight that because I do love the idea of like appreciating and receiving change with our full hands. All right, so there's this quote which says, but ever since he had been a child, he had wanted to know the world, and this was much more important to him. And I wrote a summary on the side that said, know yourself to better make decisions that serve you best. There's this song called Enlightment that is kind of repetitive in the book. It is repeated on multiple occasions, and I'll read it. It says, when you want something with all your heart, that's when you are the closest to the soul of the world. It's always a positive force. And then it goes on to say, when you want something so bad, all of the world conspires to help you achieve it. And the idea is that the idea is that in most cases, your dreams are not my dreams are not my sister's dreams, my sister's dreams are not my brother's dreams. Like, everyone has their own dreams. And those dreams are inside of you because of who you are, which means they're inside of you for a reason. So when you feel like you want that thing, it's because that thing wants you too. And when you decide that I'm going to get this thing, all of the world conspires to help you achieve it because that thing was intended for you by the world or the universe or by God, if you believe in God. All right, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching to the very end. And actually, there are more highlights that I did highlight on this book, but then I could not read all of them. I'll have to get time to read the book or just listen to the book if you're on Audible or something. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.